Okay, first three are done. All the igniters are back on properly. I gave the car a quick test to make sure everything fired up as expected and there were no misses. So now we're going to tackle the back three. And like I said, you have to get the air plenum off. And that is going to have to go in a couple, actually you're going to have to work frontwards and backwards. So I'm going to start with disconnecting the air filter box, disconnecting the air intake, and the associated hoses. As I go along, I'll stop and document what we're doing. The mounting bolts for the air plenum itself, there's a total of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. There's another one under here, and there's also one, there's a mounting bolt back in here. And you're definitely going to need the an extender and possibly a universal adapter to kind of get in there and screw that loose. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is start from the air box and work my way back. So on the air box, this connector here, red clip comes out just like on the igniters, and if you look up underneath, there is a black pin. You got to press to pull that off. Okay, there was a clip here in the side of this unit here that we had a same kind of connector as the igniters. Pulled the red clip up, pushed the black pin in, and it slides off. This connector in the back here, I'm not sure how you can see it, but, so this one in the back has got a slightly different connector type. So this is this red piece here is actually slid all the way over, and what you need to do is pull them back a little bit and then slide the piece out to get that connector off. Okay, so we got this clip and hosed. Sorry about the zoom here. Okay, so we got this hose moved up and out of the way, and that'll allow us to get now a wrench on the nut back here to get the rest of the air intake hose off, because you got to get this out before you can start working on the main plenum. Okay, so there's not a whole lot of space to work here, but you can get a wrench on that to loosen it, then finger loosen, and then take your cat claw and come in from the back side just to break the seal on that a little bit, and the air intake will, this part section will here come off. Alright, when I was telling you about the bolt count, get the plenum off, I said 2 here, 1, 2 here, and there's one in the back as I mentioned, and there's also another one right here under the throttle body. Alright. Okay, so I've got this back bolt loosened, and it looks like there's a retaining thing in there, retaining clip. I've got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bolts off the plenum. I've loosened these. I actually broke one of the clips. The cat claw couldn't get under that. Here's the other one for here. I've got the bolt under the throttle body that goes with this. And I've loosened the whole thing, and so it looks like it's ready to come up. I'm just going to give this one more blast of air to get any other loose dirt off, dirt and grit. Okay, before I go any further, I need to get the air plenum off completely, because on the underside are the gaskets we need to replace. And what's holding me up right now is this connector right here. But what I want to do is I want to get the air intakes here covered up so that nothing by accident falls in there. So I'm just going to take a little bit of newspaper, put it in each one. You can use newspaper or rag. I'm going to use newspaper because just in case something does fall through, paper should dissolve better than a cloth rag. Alright, success. Got that off. Just had to push that hose with the cat claw. And here are the gaskets I was talking about. Alright. I'm going to take off one at a time before I replace these to make sure, to see if there's a fit difference as far as which direction it goes. I don't know that there is. It doesn't look like there is because that tab appears to be in the middle of it. It might be directional because of the way it's kind of like a funky figure 8. And the only other thing we want to do then, before we put this assembly back together, is I'm going to use a bit of simple green to clean up around the tops here. This is actually very clean compared to some of the videos I've looked at. The only other video I saw was for a Ford 350 or a Ford 3.5 liter, and the top of the cylinder head was really pretty gunked up, and they were recommending using brake cleaner, but I'm just going to use a little bit of simple green just to clean that off so that the gasket has a nice clean connection. Alright, so now we're going to attack the igniters.